Sunday dinner felt normal until Dad slid an envelope away from me. He pushed it across the table toward my sister, Sarah. It stopped in front of her plate like a trophy. Dad leaned back, leather chair creaking, and cleared his throat. "We gave your wedding fund to your sister," he said. "She deserves a real wedding, something worthy." Mom nodded. Sarah smiled like she'd rehearsed this forever. I stared at the envelope, then at my empty hands. $10,000 vanished over roast beef and mashed potatoes. Good daughter, bad daughter, safe bet, lost cause. Beside me, Marcus squeezed my hand under the table, saying nothing. 23 years of being second place collapsed without a single tear. I had no idea that envelope showed exactly what I was worth. Before we go on, tell me where you're watching from. Share your city or country and one detail about your setup. Are you listening on a couch, at work, or in a late-night kitchen? Echoes of Life loves knowing how your world looks as you listen. I didn't open the envelope. I didn't need to. I already knew what was inside. Because this wasn't just about money. It never really was. It was 23 years of repetition. Different scenes, same verdict. Sarah wins. I adjust. Dad folded his hands on the table. That familiar lecturing posture. "Shelby, you went to Riverside Community College," he said. "Nothing wrong with that, but it's not Northwestern." Sarah's smile sharpened. Mom nodded like a metronome. I stayed quiet. My childhood taught me silence hurt less than arguing. I remembered 1621 graduation. Sarah always got the new thing. I got the leftover version, if anything. Little cuts add up. Paper cuts become scars eventually. Dad kept going. "You struggle financially," he said. "We've helped with rent more than once." Mom added the blow that landed deepest. "We can't throw good money after bad, sweetheart." Bad. Like I was a failed investment. Sarah leaned forward, her ring catching chandelier light. "I've never needed help," she said softly. "I save, I plan, I'm responsible." Her eyes brushed past me, sharp as a knife. Marcus squeezed my hand again. Steady. Quiet. Present. Dad gestured toward Sarah's fiancé. "Bradley comes from a solid family. A Morrison. A real provider." Then he looked at Marcus. "We don't even know what he does." A sentence meant to wound. And it did. Just not the way they expected. I finally spoke. "What about my foundation?" Dad sighed. Long, heavy. "As of now, your foundation is shaky at best." Mom didn't argue. Sarah didn't blink. Bradley didn't flinch. In that quiet room, roast beef cooling on our plates, something older than this conversation finally cracked open. They weren't just choosing a wedding that night. They were choosing which daughter counted. Marcus pushed his chair back slowly. The legs scraped the hardwood. Everyone looked up. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't look angry. He just looked done. "Should I explain my job now?" he asked. But he was looking at me, not them. Me. I nodded once. He pulled out his phone, unlocked it with calm fingers. A website filled the screen. Clean layout. Dark blue header. Corporate sharp. Cloud Vault Solutions. I'd never noticed the name before. He tilted the phone toward the table. Dad leaned in first. Mom followed. Sarah froze mid-smile. A photograph filled the header. Marcus in a navy suit. Confident. Focused. Professional. The caption. Founder and Chief Executive Officer. The silence hit harder than Dad's lecture. "I built a data security company," Marcus said quietly. "From my garage, 5 years ago." Sarah blinked fast. Bradley's jaw clicked. Mom's fingers twitched toward her coffee cup. "We protect major corporations," Marcus continued. "Hospitals, banks, retail chains. 237 employees so far." He scrolled again. An email screenshot appeared. "Forbes wants another interview," he said calmly. Dad swallowed loudly. The sound felt enormous. "We went public last month," Marcus added. "Our valuation is $47 million. Mom's fork slipped, clattered against her plate. No one moved. Sarah whispered, "But you drive a Honda." Marcus almost smiled. "It's reliable, that's all I need." Dad tried to recover. "Well, Marcus, we didn't know." "That's the point," Marcus said softly. "You didn't ask." He wasn't bragging. He wasn't punishing. He was documenting. "You judged her future," he said. "You judged mine too. Without information. Without curiosity." My chest tightened. Not from shame. From relief. For once, someone was saying it. Out loud. Clearly. Without apology. Marcus scrolled again. Another screen appeared. A contract summary. Cloud Vault. Henderson Global. 2.3 million annually. Sarah's face drained white. Her voice cracked. You work with my company?" Marcus nodded calmly. "Have for 18 months." Bradley shifted uncomfortably. His confidence evaporated instantly. Dad sat back hard. Mom stared at the tablecloth. Bradley looked sick. Marcus's voice stayed even. I keep business separate from family, but character matters everywhere. I felt something shift inside me. A balance recalibrating slowly, a lifetime of second place, tilting. Their assumptions were collapsing. Their hierarchy was cracking. Their confidence was evaporating. They hadn't just underestimated me. They'd underestimated the man who chose me. If this moment happened in your life, how would you handle it? Comment 1 if you'd step back and let their choices speak for themselves. Comment 2 if you'd draw a clear line and tell them exactly where you stand. Echoes of Life wants to hear your truth. 2 weeks passed quietly. No calls. No invitations. No updates from anyone. Then Sunday morning hit back. Harder than dinner ever did. My phone rang at 7:30 a.m. Sarah's name filled the screen. She never called me that early. I answered instantly. Her sobs drowned the greeting. "Shelby, please, everything's falling apart." Her voice cracked like thin ice. I sat up in bed. Marcus lifted his head beside me. Concern replaced sleep in his eyes. "What happened?" I asked softly. "The venue doubled the price," she gasped. 8,000 became 18 overnight. Her breath shook violently. They cited a contract clause. Facility improvements, hidden fine print. I closed my eyes. Country clubs rarely lose leverage. "What about Bradley's family?" I asked. "They pulled out," she whispered. "His mother said she refuses stolen weddings." The word stolen hovered painfully. Sarah kept unraveling. "My maid of honor quit. 3 bridesmaids dropped yesterday." I heard a sharp inhale. Even Marcus winced at that part. "The photographer canceled," Sarah continued. She said the drama felt unprofessional. Her world was buckling fast, faster than she could process. "Work got involved too," she added. HR asked about emotional stability. My stomach tightened slowly. Marcus had warned them gently. "Reputation bleeds into everything." "What did you tell them?" I asked. "That it was private," she whispered. "But I think they're watching me now." The spiral kept widening. The dress shop flagged my credit. They want full payment up front. Marcus stood quietly, began making coffee for us. His calm steadied my pulse. "Mom and Dad tried loans," Sarah said. "Debt ratio's too high." Bank refused instantly. Her voice cracked again. "I can't afford anything now." Not deposits, not changes, not a smaller venue. Pride cornered her completely. She'd built a wedding on image. Now the image was collapsing. "Sarah," I said gently, "what are you asking me for?" Silence. Long, trembling silence. "I was hoping Marcus might help," she whispered. "As family." Marcus paused mid-stir. Didn't speak. Didn't judge. Just waited. I exhaled slowly. This wasn't about money. This was about years. Patterns. Roles. Respect. "I'll talk to him," I said quietly. "And we'll decide together." Sarah sobbed with relief. But it didn't feel victorious. It felt heavy. Complicated. Human. I hung up gently. Marcus set the coffee down. "What do you want to do?" he asked. His voice wasn't pressuring. It was offering ground. My ground. For the first time, my sister wasn't competing. She was calling because everything she'd built on favoritism was collapsing fast. Marcus didn't answer Sarah's request. He just kissed my forehead. "Let's focus on us first," he whispered. 2 weeks later, I understood why. We were in Napa Valley. Warm October light on stone walls. Castello di Amorosa rising behind us. 50 chairs in a perfect courtyard. Climbing roses. String quartet tuning softly. This wasn't a flex. It was a love letter. Written in details instead of speeches. A quiet correction to every insulted Sunday. My dress was custom ivory. Hand-stitched. It moved like water when I walked. Marcus waited at the altar. Charcoal Italian suit. Eyes soft and steady. When the minister pronounced us married, Pachelbel drifted through the courtyard. White doves lifted into the sky. Dinner came from Chef Dubois. Plates arranged like art. Private reserve wine poured generously. Drone cameras circled above us, capturing the night as if it mattered. Because to Marcus, it did. To me, it proved I finally mattered too. Town and Country later ran the photos. Called it a modern vineyard fairy tale. But my favorite part wasn't the venue. It was the guest list. 50 people who actually knew us. Who respected us. Who were glad I existed. 2 months later, Sarah married at the community center. Clean room. Fold-out chairs. Plastic tablecloths. Her dress came from a department store. 37 guests ate buffet chicken. It wasn't wrong, just not the life she'd performed online. 3 months after that, Dad called. Asked to meet for lunch. Just him. He stared into his coffee. "I'm seeing a therapist," he finally said. I blinked hard. I pushed my old dreams onto Sarah. "I treated yours like consolation prizes." I confused prestige with worth. Then he said it. Words I'd wanted my whole life. I'm proud of you, Shelby. Heat rushed behind my eyes. Not from humiliation this time. From finally being seen. It didn't fix everything, but it rewired something deep. Mom changed next slowly. Equal calls. Equal questions. Equal interest. Small things, steady enough to matter. Then Sarah asked to meet. No blazer. Minimal makeup. Just my sister trying. Marriage is harder than Instagram, she admitted. We're learning to live within our means. She picked at her salad. Fingers trembling. I owe you an apology, she whispered. For that night. For the money. For competing instead of caring. We cried quietly, not breaking down tears. Release tears. Healing tears. For once, we weren't rivals. We were two women choosing better. That night, I told Marcus everything. He listened without interrupting. You changed the pattern, he said. Not by running, by refusing to shrink. He was right. For the first time, I believed it. I wasn't the warning story anymore. I was the blueprint for how to grow past one. 2 years passed quietly. No explosions. No screaming matches. Just life settling into shape. Marcus and I built a home. Real walls. Real peace. No scorekeeping. My work grew slowly. Clients found me through referrals. Not family pressure. Not comparisons. Mom called more often now. Not with demands. Just updates. Normal conversation. The kind I used to want. Dad tried even harder. Less lecturing. More listening. He asked about my projects. Asked how I felt. Not what I earned. Sarah softened too. The competition faded. We talked like adults. Not rivals raised on imbalance. She told me marriage humbled her. Budgeting humbled her. Life humbled her. She smiled when she said it. A real smile. Not the curated one. Our family dinners changed. Not perfect, but honest. Everyone spoke slower. Kinder. More aware. One night after dinner, Mom squeezed my hand. Thank you for staying, she said. Even when we didn't deserve it. I didn't correct her. Growth doesn't need applause. Just consistency. Sometimes healing looks like this. Not dramatic reunions. Not tearful embraces. Just steady effort. Repeated choices. And sometimes peace comes quietly. Not as victory. As permission. To live your life. Without proving anything. To anyone. I learned that love without respect is only pressure in disguise. And boundaries, once honored, become the soil where closeness grows. Sarah hugged me as we left. A simple hug. No jealousy between us. No score to settle. Just two women. Finally on even ground. And in that moment, I felt something gentle and full. A future not defined by the past. Because peace isn't found by fixing them. It's found by finally choosing you. If this story touched you in any way, tap like, share it with someone rebuilding their own peace. And subscribe to Echoes of Life for more stories. About strength, boundaries, and quiet transformation.